Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a full moon in Taurus reading for all of the signs. So as I was sitting here, I was getting trust, but this moon really is about releasing control and releasing restrictions around your growth. So I'm really feeling like there is something that you want to see happen or want to see manifest in a certain way, but this moon is really releasing the expectations of how it's going to come out. So I was hearing that very strongly. So let's get into it and see what else we have. So we've got higher perspective. Yeah. This is also very high priestess energy. So this is trusting the intuition, trusting in the higher divine play of what is going on for you. Because I really am getting like, there is a sense of I need to be further along than I am. But that is that human conditioning saying like, oh, we need to be here. But the higher perspective is saying there's still something for us to learn. Enjoy the journey and really sink into that part, sink into the journey, because you will really start to gain experiences in the journey. It's not all about the destination. We've got transmute at the bottom of the deck here. So this is also integrating the healing pieces that you have learned. So, and Taurus is ruled by Venus and Uranus. And this may also be coming about in your relationships, in the ways that you are really like interacting with others, I'm getting. So there's a redirection and I'm hearing reinvention of how it is that you're wanting to connect with people. So let's get a little bit deeper here, shall we? Spirit, what else is going on this full moon? The last hurrah. Yeah. So this is doing something, and you can see that he's having a great old time with this. Like, I think that you have in your mind's eye, like you can feel an ending or you can feel a closing out about to happen, but you are really enjoying the process of this. You know, it's seeing into that higher perspective of, I know that this has to close in order for me to move forward, but I'm going to enjoy every last minute of it. This is just like taking in, you know, that the last hurrah, like we're going to have fun with it, you know? So really sparking some joy in the process. We've got strength at the bottom of the deck here. Yeah. All right. So Spirit, what else is going on here for this full moon in Taurus? What else does the collective need to know? Ooh. Conflict and defeat. And then we have power. So we've got strength out here twice. Okay. So specifically around Leo energy, could be dealing with Leos, or this could be directed towards you guys. But there's something surrounding like the inner power, needing to really look at this conflict and defeat of what has happened in the past that is causing you to have like, I'm hearing limerence, or having like your brain keeps going to this conflict. And I'm really feeling like this is a time for you to release the conflict, release what it is inside your heart that you have been either holding grudges about or having resentment about, and really fueling that light power to say, yeah, this happened, it sucked, but I'm no longer giving power to it. Love that. We've got love begins at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so this is totally like redirecting your energy towards love, towards happiness, towards fulfillment. So yeah, this full moon is, there's like a simultaneous aspect of releasing, but also culmination happening. So there may be some shifts in the home space because Taurus does rule the home. But I also feel like there's a level of like needing to be present in this time, because there's really going to be a big shakeup or a big shift going to be happening within the home space or within connections or dynamics. All right. Spirit, what else is going on for this full moon in Taurus? Ace of Candles. I love that. All right. Ooh, we've got the Devil in reversed. Love it. Yay. Okay. Spirit, what else is happening here? Oh, we've got the Nine of Candles in reversed too. I like that position. Great. All right, Spirit, can we get 3 more? 3 more. 5 of Needles. 10 of Needles. Okay. Hermit. 5 of Potions. Okay. All right, so this is really about what we need to be releasing. And we've got the 5 of Potions here. So if you remember in the Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack did all the things, you know, he was delivering the presents, he was on top of the world, but the reaction that the town got from him because he wasn't the real Santa was like, no, we don't want to accept all of these monsters. We don't want to accept all of these, you know, creepy things. Like, he was not living in his authenticity. He wanted to be something else. So this really is like sinking into the self, sinking into your power. So where have you been giving your power away? And where can we start to analyze that and to come back to the self? And this can be in the house, in the home, in career, whatever. And where are you lighting the fire, lighting the spark to really get back your autonomy is what I'm hearing. And we're releasing the devil. We're releasing the overburden, the need to overproduce, or the need to have, obviously we need, you know, a certain amount of income and money to live. But I feel like this is like a certain level of lifestyle. Is that really needed for you to be abundant on the inside? Now, if you've reached a point in your journey where you're like, yeah, I can enjoy the luxuries of my life, that's great. This is more so for people who are in a part of their journey where they are trying to build a lifestyle, but it's taking away from the more important aspects of their journey, like the heart space and the connections. Like, where are you being so overly like, I need to have this amount of money, or I need to have X, Y, and Z? Like, that's that constricting nature. Where are those expectations cropping up for you? Because we have the devil in reversed, and we have the 9 of Candles, which is the 9 of Wands. So I'm really getting like, where are you really just dropping everything and being like, I can't keep doing, you know, putting my energy over here. I can't keep working this job and this job and this job, you know, like, are you able to kind of sort things out with the finances to where you can have more energy to really fuel into the creative sparks, the creative aspects of things? And I am also getting like, look at your budget. We are talking about Taurus, a fixed earth sign. Look at your budget and seeing where you can maybe minimize going out to eat, or, you know, the frivolous spending of like, oh, do I really need that extra handbag that I have 20 of? You know, it's more so those things. Sorry, my cat is doing her thing. So if you hear weird noises, she is doing her goblin mode outside. All right. So, because I do feel like there is a lot of things happening in the mind space, because we have the 5 of Needles and we have the 10 of Needles, which this is all air sign, and it is the mind. It is the cognitive processing. But this is really, you have a lot of expectations, and this is asking you to go inward, to come back to self and to see what exactly it is that you really need and what you can let go of to have a more fulfilling and heart-centered experience. So, all right, let me get some clarification here. Spirit, what is the collective letting go of and releasing with this devil? Four of Pentacles. Holding on too tightly. The Hangman. That is causing some stagnancy. It's causing a restriction of flow. Eight of Swords. Wow. This is really like that analysis paralysis I'm getting. Like holding too tightly to resources, or holding too tightly to like, I need to work X amount of hours to get this amount of money. That is that devil energy. That is that need to like control and constrict things way too much. But because this is in reverse, this is asking you to have a higher perspective. Are you doing this to get somewhere? Are you doing this to reach a certain financial goal? Or are you doing this because you are more so in this state of lack, in this state of like harboring and squirreling away things? And I think that that's really what the basis of this message is coming back to why you're doing the things that you're doing. And have you become a little too constricting around what it is that you are wanting to build, or the expectations around it? All right, Spirit, what's going on with this Five of Needles? Because I feel like this is exhausting. I feel like this is like a big, long time that you have been feeling this way. Ten of Needles. Yeah, like you want to be expansive. You want to move forward. You want to get out of this cycle, but something just keeps holding you back. And I feel like this is, I'm not going to say a person because it doesn't feel like that, but it feels like a past version of you that has had to live in more of a scarcity mindset to protect yourself. But I think that you are now sinking into the power of who you are and how much you can manifest, that you don't necessarily have to be operating out of this, out of like so much mental conflict, like you can't move forward, you know, because I think that things have happened in the past that have prevented you from moving forward. But this card is about the heart. This is Cancer. This is water. This is all about the mind. So there seems to be a little bit of dissonance between the connection of the mind and the heart space. So where is it that we are needing to harmonize and to refocus our energy, not out of lack, but out of, I'm doing this because I want to move, or I want to, you know, provide more for my family. But if it is integrating the heart space, look at the heart where you are now and saying like, do you have the time for your family? Do you have the time for all of these things that you want to do? There's a really big like shift in perspective here. We have death at the behind the five. This is lamenting, and this is actually in the movie. This is Jack's lament. So releasing the lamenting, releasing the past of the, you know, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and really allowing more of that light energy to come forward. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Spirit, what else needs to be known here? What aspect is the collective releasing? This feels, ooh, we've got shadow. Yeah. Really looking at shadow aspects of you. Material harvest. Yeah. Where is it that you are feeling the need to keep up with the Joneses, or needing to have, you know, all of these things? Disruption. Yeah. So there's definitely a need to, this is Tower energy, to shift up so much of the constriction, because you're blocking the flow of other things that want to manifest and want to come in for you. We have new beginnings here. So this is, and Taurus is earth, and it is the earth sign. It is Gaia. So I really think that by allowing yourself to really look at the shadow aspects and look at the blind spots I'm hearing of where you have been operating. Is it from lack? Are you overproducing or overworking to numb another piece of you that feels like you have to produce or you have to do these things to be worthy, to make money? Because I promise you, when you look at those aspects, you're going to find glimmers of, oh, I can release this because this is a shadow part of me that I have learned to overcompensate to be able to, you know, act in the real world of things. But I really think that you're starting to realize, like, it all comes from the heart. I have to be in a more heart alignment. And I think that it's just been like, you know, overworking, and we're coming up on the holidays. So putting in the hours to make more money, you know, like, where can you be a bit more productive in, you don't necessarily have to be providing gifts in a tangible way. You can be providing gifts in your time, in being present, and being more available for family, friends, whoever is more important to you. Because I feel like there's been such an emphasis on the things, on like, I need to have this, this, and this in order to be happy. And then you get the things and you're like, this doesn't really make me that happy. Like, there's something that needs to be looked at in the heart space, and Leo rules the heart. So really looking at your routines, looking at your structures, and seeing where you can start to take new steps forward, because you are more powerful than you think you are. All right, Spirit, what advice is here for the collective? Have faith. It's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay, yet still you must do exactly that, because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. Yeah. And this is like, you know, releasing so much of the outcome and looking at, like, if you're doing the things now and you look forward in, you know, 20 years, are you going to be like, yeah, that thing was, you know, I really needed that thing to get me here. Or is it like, I really don't need this. Like, why am I putting so much of my energy in the things that, like, I feel like I need when I really don't? We have healing. Your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now. Yeah, so there is a need for this. There is a need for you to come back to the heart space, and even carving out a little bit of time for you to sit with the self, whether that's 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, to come back to what really matters. And then we have compassion. You're being asked to be kinder to yourself, to give yourself a break. Instead of being a taskmaker, a horrible friend, be a loving comforter who always has your back. Yeah, so there's really, I feel like the soul part is really asking you to step up and to come back to the soul. And we have listen. You're being asked to listen to your inner voice. So what is that inner voice whispering to you? Can you hear it, or are things around you too loud? That is an indication of needing to come back to self, because spirit really does want to talk to you to help harmonize this this dissonance that is taking place in the 3D. So, all right, guys, if this has been beneficial for you, if you've gotten some value from it, please like, share, subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you on the other side. Thank you. Blessed be. Bye.